all cleaned up?
I know I'm in for an ear beating, so let's proceed with it.
No, I'm just making sure you're clean.
Well, I mean, do you want the truth or you want the podcast friendly version?
I want the truth, the whole damn truth.
I'm I'm good. I'm good.
Please tell me you're sitting like on the toilet bowl or something.
No. I never. Okay, every week I think to myself, I need to get the longer cord for the headphones because
Right?
my microphone cords will reach any spot. They might even go down to the garage. They're that long, but uh, the headphones. The wires are too short to get to the toilet. So every week I make a mental note to get like an extender or something, and every week I forget as soon as I'm done podcasting to do it.
Bro, you good? You're clean. You got your ass clean. You're all wiped up.
I mean, yeah. I wait.
I'm concerned.
This ain't
You
amateur
were
hour,
late.
and I'm not gonna. I'm not. Oh, two things. Okay, I'm not gonna rush to make time. The time we've assigned ourselves to podcast with Mudbutt. It's just not gonna fucking happen.
Right.
So of course I'm gonna make you wait like a minute or two for cleanup on aisle two. So that's it. Speaking of aisle two, since we're you're already on top of me about like running a little bit late because the poop ran late and my leg fell asleep and you gotta get spick and span and all that shit. I'll just start with my poop story for the day and then
Okay.
we'll get to whatever you got on your list. So I don't know if you were on the our group thread earlier when I mentioned that
I was. I know exactly where you're going with this.
that I almost didn't make it to the Publix in Miami Gardens, where I had to do the Super Bowl shuffle all the way to the bathroom. And here's the thing: I'm driving with Jeff, and it hits me all at once, like it's almost like I didn't notice wave 1 and 2, and wave 3 just starts hitting me, and I'm like, oh no! I like immediately get the cold sweats, and it's like hot flashes or something where like I can't either I'm sweating and I got to put the AC on me, or I'm like freezing and I got to get it off of me. It was messing me up, and we're getting there, and everything that could go wrong goes wrong. Like you get off the highway and you're hitting every red light, and then your GPS is telling you where I always go for Publix for some reason because
They're clean.
they're generally two things: they're clean, and they're usually available. Like
Right.
the worst
Empty
thing you want to
almost,
do
yeah.
is like pull into a Wawa and clean or not,
Yeah.
there's someone in there, and then you're
Right.
like practicing your breathing in the fucking in the over by the sink in the urinal waiting for the stall
Right.
to open. So I get and like I miss the turnoff and I have to shoot down and make a U-turn, and I'm like literally like flop sweating, and Jeff's laughing, and as we're like pulling into the parking lot into a space, he goes, hopefully the stall isn't occupied.
What a mush.
I turned to him and said, you just mushed me. I'm going to be waiting like 20 minutes on someone. I got in there and it was fine. And look, I mean, I'm not getting too many details, but like, let's just say I released an Australian brown snake into the wild, and he's free. And, and he made it. It was an impressive one, and it looks like the snake had a meal itself. And so we're
He's currently swimming down the Florida canals.
oh he's in the canal system, the sewers, wherever.
Yeah.
I think it's all interconnected at this point. When we were kids, I know that like a lot of like the canal systems and sewers were screened off from each other, so you couldn't get like a
Right.
gator into, like in our backyard at our home, we had a canal, and it
Yeah.
used to be where it had a little sand kind of beach to it and everything, and we used to play up to our knees in the water in it and pull clams out and fish for fish, but there were screens over by the where one street would bridge over the canal, and over the years those screens all disappeared, and now we've got like gators in there, and you know, poisonous snakes and whatever else. But I mean,
Wow.
as a kid, when we first bought that house, I remember we used to fucking pee up to.
What year was that? Like 1942?
No, like
I feel like that was a Snake Master joke right there.
you're funny. 76, I think, was when we bought
Mm.
that house down there. Maybe 77. Oh boy. So yeah, that's my
Well,
that's that. Those are the travails of the day. And so I thought I was good for the rest of the day, but then I ate some chicken wings when I got home, and it's like the process had started all over again. And
I don't even want to tell you mine because I've been going nonstop for days now. So
yeah, well, I wanted to respect the show and not cut one short ever again. So I figured let's start
I
late
appreciate that.
instead of cutting one short.
Because if there was one to cut short, it's probably this one because I don't have much.
Oh, you might have more.
I'm a little under the weather. I'm a little under the weather. I gotta say. I will admit on national air, I feel really crappy.
You it's funny because you seem to be healthy enough to TikTok. So
It's well in the morning I'm good, and then like at night I'm good. It's just in the middle of the day I feel like I got hit by a bus.
and before we get into you being sick, can we touch on your TikToking for a minute? I feel, and
Hmm.
like correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you are kind of phoning it in these days. I feel like
What?
you've got like your two go-tos, which is your morning like dance thing,
Right.
and then you've really just gone full bore into the whole duetting and reacting to other videos thing.
But
It's like I feel like that's the cheap shit. That's like
but here's the deal.
that's like Ricky Vandal shit. That's not
So
AJ
I
Slambino's
listen.
stuff.
I'm gonna explain it to you, right? I just had this conversation with Eric. So hey, it's hot, right? Like I'm getting my likes are crazy. So I'm getting a good following. I'm getting a lot of followers just because I think I'm into this new genre of weird food eating, which like it like oddly like creeps me out yet turns me on.
Yeah,
So
but
like
you're not eating weird food. You're just watching
no,
other people eat
I
weird food.
know, but I'm like I'm so amused by it. Number one, number two, a lot of people are like, oh, this guy must like watch weird food videos and they follow me, and like the comments are like out of this. This is weird, right? So that's number one. Number two,
I just think it's cheap. It's lazy.
here's can you just listen to
You're
me?
coasting
Number
on other
two.
people's work. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have these ideas, and then I think about it, and I go, if I made that video, I may hurt someone's feelings or offend someone, so I don't do it. And Eric's like, just do the video. Like you're overthinking this. Just make your original content that you want to do, and don't worry about, you
I
know.
want a list of every single offensive and bad idea sent to me, and then when you get new ones, send them to me because I'll do them. I'll have my monkey Marco do them when we're driving around together. I believe me.
Listen, can we just call him Daddy from now on?
You
Go ahead.
can't do that.
Anyway.
We haven't.
Okay, I'm just saying. That's all. That's it. That's it.
Oh my God! What are you? Are you crazy,
I I didn't say anything.
dude? You're creating work for me. I got to bleep a fucking podcast now.
Oh, this makes it
Oh
even better. Now everybody's
no.
gonna be wondering what I said.
Oh no, you can't say that.
Anyway, I feel like absolute crap. I feel like crap right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you feel better, but we got work to do here. What is on your list? Yeah, I'm like
So,
you hear how unsympathetic I am.
well, I know you don't care.
No, not at all.
I wanted to tell this story, like, and it's. I think people are gonna think I'm crazy, but I go to my son has basketball and we live. Our town is like it's not big, and then we have like a little town square or whatever. So we're at basketball the other night, and it's a home game. So there I am. I'm at the game, and I don't know. My son doesn't bring anybody to the house. I know his teammates, but that's it. So I walk in, and I mean we're 2 minutes in, and some kid says, "Hey, what's up, Mr. Janetti?" And he gives me like a handshake, whatever. I was like, "Oh, what's up, buddy?" I don't know who he is. Never seen him before in my life. I just keep walking. Another kid comes up, gives me a pound. Hey, Mr. Janetti. Oh, what's up? What's up? Boom. Okay. Cool, cool. I don't know who he is. Never seen him before in my life. I film the game, so I'm filming. Kids are walking by, just pounding me left and right, left and right. I'm like, who? I've never seen any of these kids in my life. Nick doesn't bring anybody home. Like, I, I don't understand. It gets to the point, I'm talking 7, 8 kids. Hey, oh, boom, boom, boom. A kid comes up to me and goes, excuse me, Mr. Janetti. I said, what's up, man? He goes, um, can I borrow $1? I'm like, I've never seen this guy in my life. I said, borrow $1 for what? And he said, I need a mask to get in the game, and I don't have any money. And I asked him if I can come ask you. I said, who are you? Like, I literally don't know you. And he goes, I'm Nick's friend. I said, oh, okay. I said, I still never met you before, right? Because I have to think, my memory's bad. Did I ever meet you before? And he goes, no, man. I seen you on TikTok before.
I knew this was what it was.
I said, oh, did you? I took out a 20. I said, oh, you bring me back the change, my friend. And he said, yeah. And then I literally, he went to grab it, and I said, if you don't bring me back the change, I will find you. And he's like, sir, I'll bring back the change. So he comes back, right, comes back with the 20, and I go, what happened? He goes, they gave me a mask for free because all I had was a 20. And he was like, oh, I really appreciate it. I was like, cool. So, all right, game's over. I wait. We get in the car. Nick wants to go. They want to go get food, the kids. So we go. And I'm like, so, Nick, how do all these kids know me? Now I'm leading them on here. I'm like leading the witness. And he's like, what? I go, all these kids, they keep pounding me. The kids asking me for money. I never met any of these kids before. And Nick's like, no, I don't know. I go, no, you don't know. You know. I said, just say it. No, I'm not saying it. I go, no, you know, my friend. And he's like, he got angry. He goes, what do you think? It's because you put your whole life on TikTok. Everybody in school. And he is just laying it on me. Because I put everything on TikTok. Everyone in school knows who I am.
Right.
That's when I broke out the phone. And I filmed him and made a TikTok. He was so mad. So mad. So now all these kids in school, they rag on Nick, and they're like, yo, your dad, his TikToks yesterday. Like, it's a daily thing, and he's embarrassed. And he's like, could you just keep your shirt on and something? I was like, oh no. No.
He's eating shit on a daily basis. This is hilarious. Right. That's what he gets for being a dick.
And I don't think he's eating, I don't think they're mocking me. I think they're like, yo, your dad's got some clout. They're all cool with me. And I think he's upset because he's like, his dad is way cooler than he is, and he plays on the basketball team.
He's jealous.
He is.
That you're more over than him.
Right. He was so mad. So I filmed a little TikTok.
How can I rig it so that you are prom king?
Oh my God.
Whose hands do I have to grease? Whose
your
pockets?
Dad doesn't even go here.
Yeah, but he's got 60,000 followers on TikTok. How many do you have?
Oh my God. It's funny because I filmed a little TikTok, and then I stopped. We got some ice cream, and we're sitting in the rocking chairs. And I didn't even say anything. I just had a smirk on my face, rocking back and forth, eating my ice cream. He's like, you're so ridiculous. You know that? And,
were you looking at him, or were you just kind of staring off and smiling?
I was staring straight. I wasn't even looking at him.
Okay.
Because I was thinking in my head, pretty popular around these parts. And so it's funny because that was on Friday. On Saturday, we have another game, and we're at the game, and I'm talking to some of the parents after, and I'm wearing my fanny pack, of course, and all the parents I'm going to be 40 in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and most of them are maybe a little bit older than me, not much, and I got on sweatpants, a fanny pack, a sweatshirt, and I got a t-shirt on. I got the man bun, the beard. And they're like, oh, you're wearing the fanny pack. I was like, yeah, I've been rocking the fanny pack since, 99. I don't know what to tell you. And they're they're like, "Oh, you're the cool dad," and I was like, "Come on, just keep bringing it. I'm eating it up." Well, one of the kids goes, I have my phone in my hand, and that one of their kids, he's maybe like 10 or 12, maybe probably 10, and he goes, "You have TikTok?" And I said, "Yeah." And the dad goes, "You never seen his TikTok before?"
The
And I said, "You
parents are
see my
the parents are
right?"
following you, huh?
I said, "You see my TikTok?" He goes, "I watch them all the time." This is the dad. Now he's a cool dad. Like he's older than me, but he's a cool dad. And I said, "No way." Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the kid goes, "Let me see." And I click the page, and he sees the followers and and he goes, "You have that many followers?" I said, "Yeah." And the dad's like, "You didn't know?" Like the dad's putting me over to the son,
Right.
and the son's like blown away. Like, "Oh my god, I do TikToks, and I don't even get 2 like views." I was like, "Oh, kind of a big deal." It's like I'm like eating it up, and all the parents are like, "You do TikTok?" I was like, "Yeah." And the other guy, and he's putting me over to everybody now, like a fan. He's like, "Yeah, no, this guy's got 60,000." Like it was crazy. So the game ends, and get in the car, and I was like, he had a good game, Nick. He played good. He had like 14 points, and everybody knows that I'm on TikTok, even the parents. And he's like, yeah, he just loses it. Why do you have to bring this up? It's your whole life. Like just goes crazy over it. I was like, why are you so mad? He's like, it's embarrassing.
Here we have it.
Right? And I go, what? Why? I said, is it embarrassing that I TikTok? Or are you embarrassed that I'm way more over than you ever will be in your life? He's like, no, it's because you have no shirt on sometimes and you do stupid things and like everybody sees that. I go, but they think I'm cool. Like nobody's mad at it. I go, just embrace it. Embrace it. That's it. Embrace it. He refuses to. He will not
Oh my
embrace it.
god. I mean, you go way lighter on him than I would if he was my kid. See, once I smell like that blood in the water, that like
Right.
that something bothers him, it's an inevitability that that's all I'm gonna fucking do. I would be waking him up at 3 in the morning, with no shirt on, TikToking in his room with him in bed. Yeah, I would
I feel like I should do that. You're right.
You've got to upset his life. You should. I mean, if you got to pick him up at school, maybe you play a popular TikTok song and blast it out the out the car speakers and be like just pretend like you're filming. Like those girls in the parking lot. They set it up on like their windshield and they're dancing in front of their own car.
Like the level of anger that comes out of him. It's like next level. Like I feel like in his mind, if he could hit me, he probably he would. He gets, and I'm like, why are you so mad? It's not that big of a deal. Like you're overreacting, and he's like, I'm not overreacting. Like he just
Oh
gets
my
like
god!
crazy about it.
You just start doing TikToks with his teammates.
Oh, that's a good idea. Good idea. Yeah.
I mean, I listen. There's nothing more entertaining than getting a rise out of your kid. I
I
mean,
don't get why he's so mad.
yeah, just be glad he does, because now you've got a button to push.
Yeah.
I mean,
And and then on the opposite end, my daughter, she thinks it's cool. Like she doesn't get mad, but uh she had a viral video like 2 weeks ago, and ever since then she's become Miss TikTok. I'm like, well, you had one video. I was like, welcome to the club. Like
right.
you only like you've been on it since Musically, which was she's been on 3 years. I go, oh, you finally had your first one. I was like, rookie.
Huh.
You know,
Is she? I think I saw the one you were talking about, but she's not in it. It's like other
she
stuff,
doesn't
right?
put her face in any of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's a minor. That's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But whether you thought of that or not is another story. But
No.
I no, you put your kids in your own. So,
Right.
but 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 I saw. I don't know what viral is for you people. I mean, for me, it's only over.
Well, here we go.
For me, it's only like
And this was
half
in
a
my
mi-
notes. I want to have this argument with you.
oh. So well, why don't you state your position? So
Okay.
we can't have an
I
argument.
think I think this is correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
You think views mean the world, right?
I
Views mean right. Okay. I think that likes mean more because it's interaction, and comments mean more because it's interaction.
Uh,
I could have less views but more likes and comments. I think the interaction means more than the views.
I mean, it can, but that interaction should result in more views. If you have more likes and comments, and that interaction is supposed to mean something, then you should also have more views.
So,
You
for
understand what I'm
instance,
saying?
you have I
Doesn't that
do, but
logic apply?
you have a video with 1 million views from last week, right?
Yeah.
It has 19,000 likes.
Whatever. I never look at those, so I'll take your
My
word for it.
my video has 940,000 views, but has I just hit 83,000 likes.
Well, I'll tell you. Then let's put this into perspective. Let's put this into perspective two ways. Because this isn't really funny stuff, but this is a bit of a dick measuring contest we're having here. Also, keep in mind that you had those. I lapped you on views in way less time.
Right, but you'll never catch me in likes.
But does it matter? Because what I'm
I
saying,
think likes mean more.
what I'm saying is, and again, maybe we've got a divide here that we're not going to be able to cross. But I think that if you're saying likes and comments are interaction, yes, obviously they're interaction, but what does that get you? It should, if it doesn't pump the algorithm to give you more views as well, then what use are they?
Yeah, but you may have some plumber out in fucking Alaska rubbing one out to you and Marco, like doing the. Maybe he's watched it like 1 million times because he's like getting off on it.
That's real interaction.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I
won't.
I don't.
I won't say. Yeah, no, but maybe we're both right. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I just like. Also, it's kind of like when I look on my. Well, here's what I think. Why I judge it as the important one is because when you look at your page, and you see at the top, the likes, the totals of those numbers. Okay, but then when you see the little thumbnails, the thumbnail number doesn't say how many. Likes it is.
Likes.
It doesn't say how many comments. It's how many views. So that's
Right.
what they're showing. Obviously, that's the important one. So I've just now logicked you twice. I think I win.
You did. All right. All right. I know that's not funny, but that's definitely I was thinking about that all week.
Yeah, no. Listen, that was a healthy little dick measuring contest, and we both had respectable members, and we're calling it a draw.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. I feel so unfunny today because I'm sick.
Well,
it's almost like the funny got taken out of me.
Don't sell yourself short. You've been celebrating your conquest over your son, and
I know. I just don't feel funny today.
Well, what's funny is
blah.
I also had that story with Nick on my list, but we had. If you want to go into another disagreement we've had recently.
Oh, here we go.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
I don't, because I'm like, man.
Because
we disagree a lot.
I made a post.
Oh my God, you're so wrong! You're so fucking wrong! I know exactly where you're going.
I know where I'm going too, because I brought it up. I made a post sometime after our last podcast. Otherwise, we would have discussed it then. I took a shot at this. I said it's like the dumb viral video of the month award goes to, or the videos that I've seen where there's a cake of some kind, wedding cake, birthday cake, whatever the fuck, bar mitzvah, whatever. And instead of people cutting the cake and putting it on a plate, they're just taking their wine glass upside down, cutting a circular chunk out, and bringing it up. And I said, these are the dumbest videos ever. And you commented, well, to be honest, I think it's kind of brilliant. And then I immediately jumped on the phone. I didn't even bother. I think I did.
I know.
I think I did comment something to the fact of course, the paper plate guy thinks this is brilliant. But it's like stupid. It's stupid. It involves like the same number of you're not saving any time. You're not saving cleanup. You're not. It's just even harder to get to the cake because it's in a wine glass. Instead of a plate, you have a glass. Instead of a fork, you're using a spoon because it's in a glass. I mean, where's it brilliant? Where's the where's the ingenuity to it? Where's this cleverness? I don't
Whatever,
get
it's
it.
fucking cool, and I think like 10 people liked my comment and agreed with me.
They just felt bad for you because you're fat.
No, because they were like, oh, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, and I shot them all down.
I think we even got a Billy Fives comment on that one.
Yeah, but but if we did, he was just. I don't remember what it was, but it was probably
If it was a Billy comment, it was him saying you're both wrong and this is how you do it, and
right.
he's right.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, yeah. He made it about him, is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Now I got to bleep that out because I'm a dead
I'm
man.
tagging him
No, don't.
because let me tell you, I'm pretty sure his comment was like, "You're both wrong. You just pick up the cake and eat it," or something. You're
Right.
like, "What?" Like,
Yes.
guess Billy's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It was more of a battle at the moment. But I would you got me angry really fast with that because
I know you called me.
like first of all you could have said, well, I would have let a lot of things go. I mean, like if you said, oh, that looks like fun, or lighten, or if you told me to lighten up or something like that, or live a little or something. But to say it was brilliant was really just like it really rubbed me the wrong way because like there's nothing brilliant about it.
Like to pick up the phone, you were angry as if
Oh,
you were like the creator of cake and I upset you. Like you're like
like I created cake and this is the way you will eat it. There's no
right.
other,
That's what I felt like.
there
I
is
was like,
no other way.
Jesus, it's not that big of a deal.
It was at the time because
It was.
yeah. Well, I'll be honest. It was probably because you got 10 people to like your comment.
And me, I dove into it. I said, well, let me see who liked it because I need to know who's on my side. You know, it's important to me.
Oh,
And
yeah, all your TikTokies, all your
no.
all your little wrestling fans, all your
No, the first like is very close to you.
who?
Huss.
Oh, he's just an agitator. He's my roommate.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's
So
just,
I think either there's two things. Either one, he agrees with me, or two, he was just trying to push your buttons. It's one or the other.
it might be the buttons, and it might also be he just wants you to like him
That could be two, because
because you're
Yeah.
you could come off the wrong way sometimes with people.
Do you ever? I don't know if you remember this, and I don't know if this is good. This is good TV here, but do you remember Fort Lauderdale years ago? We went out to eat at that outside, like we were outside at the burger bar. Do you remember that?
The burger bar,
It was like some burger place in Fort Lauderdale. There was, all of us were there.
Rock Burger.
Right.
Yeah.
And we ate outside, and Huss came, and it was the first time I met Huss before, but I never like talked to him, and he approaches me and goes, "Do you like me?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" Because I had like no clue who he was, and he's like, "No, I feel like you don't like me," and I was like, I don't even know you enough to not like you. Like I don't know, but I think it is because I came off like I didn't like him once.
Right.
And he was very concerned, and I was like, so the rest of the night I played it up. I was like, I don't even like you, because I knew it was getting to him.
Well,
because I didn't like him.
Well, a thing I think he didn't realize back then, and maybe after being around us and Billy and a couple other people now, is that do not give a worker an opening to rib you the rest of the night or the rest of your life. You know.
Right, because the whole night I was like, I don't even like you. I was like, I don't even know who you are. Like, and he was like very upset because in his mind, like he thought I was being for real.
Yeah. Well, because probably your delivery was very real.
I mean, also it's because I was kind of half real. I really didn't know who he was.
Right. So this was before I was living with him.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So this was
years ago.
Early.
Yeah.
So this, I don't know why this reminds me of it, but it transitions into a you and Jackie story. Now,
Okay.
and granted, Jackie was probably at this thing where you were just talking about. What was that the time? That out time was that the time that it was also 450's birthday?
Yes.
Okay, so I
Yes.
know exactly the time you're
Yes.
talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, he was there. I think Huss brought his girlfriend he
Right.
was living with at the time, and okay, so I know exactly when that was. But so it reminded me of a story Jackie told me that he must have told you
Okay.
that way back in the day before you
Right.
guys knew each other.
Yeah.
He kind of he told me that he sat behind you at a Raw or like a WWE live event of some
Okay.
kind, and that he tried to like, hey, how you doing? Like, because Jackie thinks everybody knows who he is because he's been in the wrestling circle forever,
Right.
and he's
Right. Right.
boys with Norman, and you're from down here and the Florida connection and Dave and all this stuff. And he said that like you big time the shit out of him and were like
I don't
actually
remember that.
kind of rude to him or something. Well, I don't know that you would unless
Right. And he's
he
never told me that. He never told
Oh,
me that story.
he said that he hated your guts and was like, who the fuck is this guy and why doesn't he? And then
Well, who is he? Like,
well, he forgets that half of it. He always forgets that half of it.
right. Like, who are you? Like, yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And I don't even like. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't remember that. The only time I ever remember something happening at a wrestling show was I was at a show, and it was not in Florida. I was in another state, and all of a sudden, I get a tap on the shoulder, and it's Tye Dye Guy, and
Uh-huh.
he goes, Vandal, and I was like, oh my god, we took a picture together, and when he left, I was with Nick, and like Nick was a little kid, but Nick knew who he was because we watched wrestling. I was marking
Ty-
out.
Can we? Tie Dye Guy is a guy
Explain it.
who, at almost any televised wrestling event in the state of Florida, and every now and then he would travel to further and more exotic lands, he would somehow get a ticket that
Right.
would have him on the hard camera side. So most of the night you saw him, and tie-dye guy, he always wore a tie-dye t-shirt with like cut off sleeves, and he tanned and worked out, and he'd pose a little bit, and
Right.
he'd sometimes have signs, whatever. But he did it for so long that he's one of the original.
He's famous, like
He's
basically.
he's one of those
Yeah.
original super fans that people
Right, right.
know, and he didn't create tie-dye guy. So the other people that saw on TV all the time called him Tie Dye Guy, and then he
Right.
became it, and he has like
So-
a Facebook
Right,
page.
and
And all
as a
this.
wrestling fan, before I even got into wrestling, like I would see him in the front row. He was famous, like to me, a famous fan.
Right.
Well, he's seen me wrestle enough that because just everybody knows we lived in the same town. He lived where I lived.
Yeah, he's big.
So I would
like
see him
that. That
walking to
shattered.
work.
That shattered one of the things. Is like I had met him a couple times. Well, I didn't
Right.
know he lived in Boca and worked.
Right.
He's been a waiter at like Grand Lux
Grand Lux. He was my waiter once.
For
I'll tell
like-
a story about that.
for like 2 decades now. He's like still works there.
Right. Well, so we were in, I think it was North Carolina or South Carolina, and he tapped me on the shoulder and he asked, could he get a picture with me? And I'm like, I was being cool about it. I was like, big tough guy, I'm famous. And then he left. I was like, that was that guy. He's asking me to take a picture with him. And Nick's like, but he asked you to take a picture with. I was like, don't worry about it. It's like I'm the one like marking out for him.
Right.
Like I was geeking out. But I went to Grand Lux one night in Boca, and he was my waiter. And I don't know who was more excited, me that he was my waiter or him that he was serving me. And he took out his little book to take my order, and there was a picture of the Undertaker in there.
I've heard
And
about this.
he showed me the picture. He was very excited that he kept the picture of him and the Undertaker in his book that he took like your
orders,
order in.
yeah.
And he was like, people put their kids in there. He put Undertaker. So he was
Well, 'cause-
super.
Well, let's be honest. A
Right,
grown
right.
man that travels to wrestling events all over the country to get on TV probably doesn't
Right.
have kids to put in his book.
Right.
Doesn't have
And
a family.
a couple times I would see him walking, and I like once or twice I stopped and I was like, "You need a ride?" And he's like, "No, man, I enjoy the walk." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Man, I really wanted to give Tye Dye Guy a ride
Yeah.
to work." Like, what a picture that would have been. But
That and
Yeah.
tell the guys and whatever
right,
else.
well, the picture would have went right to you guys and been like, "Look what I did."
I picked up a hitchhiker.
Right. But he was always so nice to me. But yeah, we were in South Carolina. I think that's when I saw him. It was like a Monday Night Raw, and he yeah, he was like asking me to take a picture, and he was like telling everybody who I was, and I was like, oh, big shot, like, you know, it's like
he 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 shattered like over the years a few myths were shattered with him.
yeah,
One was how he like gets those seats all the time.
right,
I was with Broder and we were in line to get into the one night only, that first ECW
right,
pay-per-view,
ECW, yeah,
and he was there and I'm like, where are you sitting? He goes, I don't have tickets yet. And I go, what are you talking about? You're always on
right,
TV. I just assumed he like had a Ticketmaster hookup
right,
or something. He goes, no, man, I never buy tickets ahead of time. I show up and just scalp them.
wow, I
Every
would have never known that.
Yeah, so apparently every time you see him on TV in a good seat on on the side where the camera shoots, he has scalped those tickets like an hour or two before the show.
Wow, never knew that.
Yeah. He said
Yeah,
there's something to it, and like he's
yeah.
got a whole gimmick, and I maybe he gets a
And
deal on
everybody
him.
knows who he is, so who even knows, you know?
Right.
Guys, you know, give him a deal, or, oh, I sold my tickets to Tye Dye Guy, you know?
Yeah, but
Like,
I've
I'm over
known.
here nerding out that he waited on me at the Grand Lux.
But it's funny because like me and Jackie, we've known him
Yeah.
since mid to late 90s, like 97,
Yeah.
98, when we started going to those shows and seeing him. I mean, we've known him forever.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think I've got nothing left, but I'm really cutting this short because I'm pulling a Ben. I'm pulling a Ben.
What do you,
I'm about to poop my pants.
Oh, I was gonna say there's so many ways to pull a Ben. I wasn't sure what.
Yeah,
this was.
he's coming out to check the weather.
By the way, before your groundhog sees a shadow,
Yeah.
I just want to let you know I never put clothes on after I got out.
Oh my God, I'm done with you. All right,
I've
we're
been
done.
standing the whole time.
Podcast is over. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.